Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Let's ride together.
Good morning, America. Breaking overnight, killer storms. Reported tornadoes tear through the South and Midwest. The roof of this hotel ripped away. Homes and buildings destroyed.
It started raining real hard, and then he saw this barn, the metal from this barn, take off.
Areas also hit by flash flooding. Our weather team tracking the dangerous storms.
Arming teachers and gun violence. The debate raging in the wake of the Florida massacre, with Stoneman Douglas High School getting ready to reopen this week. President Trump repeating his support for raising the age limit to buy a semi-automatic rifle. Can he convince the NRA to go along with this?
Memo released. The Democrats firing back, saying they're correcting the record on the Russia investigations, rebutting a Republican memo accusing the FBI of abusing its powers to spy on Donald Trump when he was a presidential candidate.
The memo was a nothing. That's a very bad document for their side.
How Democrats are responding this morning.
And Meghan's secret, a very personal tell-all blog detailing the struggles of a young actress. Why some say Prince Harry's bride-to-be may be behind it.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. We have a whole lot of ground to cover this morning. We're going to head straight to the breaking news. Severe weather, including reported tornadoes, flooding, and fatalities.
There's the radar, the dangerous weather stretching from Louisiana all the way up into New England. We have video this morning from Union City, Tennessee, where one of the reported tornadoes damaged this car dealership.
And then this picture shows some of the storm damage in Missouri. ABC's Marcus Moore is covering it all for us from Mississippi County, Arkansas this morning. Marcus, good morning to you.
Dan and Paula, good morning. There is significant damage here in this part of Arkansas where we are this morning. Take a look at this corner store in Kaiser. You see that awning there collapse to the ground. The store is destroyed. And we are seeing damage throughout this town here, bits and pieces of debris like this strewn about on the ground. And it's this debris that makes these violent storms so dangerous. And look at the twisted metal just behind me here. The same storm that did this is blamed for deaths, widespread damage, and power outages across the region. Wicked weather pummeling the Midwest and the South overnight. Tornadoes and heavy rain wreaking havoc. This system spinning up at least 3 reported tornadoes in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Arkansas.
It started raining real hard, and then he saw this barn, the metal from this barn, take off, and then the windows busted out.
Look at what a reported twister did to this home in Kentucky. These houses in Tennessee missing walls and vehicles destroyed, and this mobile home park demolished. Rescues taking place overnight, helping those trapped. And this morning, news that at least 4 deaths have been reported due to the severe weather. The entire region is still battling scenes of major flooding. Torrents of rising water leading to more than 100 water rescues in Kentucky. A state of emergency has been declared in Missouri and parts of Ohio.
And there's just nothing else you can do. It's going to come in. Sandbags that you're just wasting your time.
In Michigan, floodwaters submerging an entire street. Volunteers have been going door to door to check on residents who stayed behind.
Have you had any water in your house?
No.
Not in the basement or anywhere? Okay, good.
And back to the south in Arkansas, the rising floodwaters knocking out roads and power. And another look at the damage here in Kaiser this morning, those windows shattered. And look at how that piece of metal is wrapped around the light pole there. The National Weather Service will survey the damage here to determine if indeed a tornado did this. And while the severe weather threat has passed, there's still the concern of flooding and power outages across the region. Dan, Paula?
This thing is not over. Marcus, thank you very much. We're going to move on now to the latest developments in the Florida school shooting. Parents, teachers, and students will be returning to the building for the first time today for orientation sessions, certain to be emotional. This in advance of the resumption of classes this week.
Yeah, some of the students were out protesting on Saturday as America's gun debate continues to escalate. And then there's the fallout. More companies dropped out of business deals with the NRA while the group pushes back forcefully. ABC's Kenneth Moten has more from Parkland, Florida. Kenneth, good morning.
Good morning, Paul and Dan. Stoneman Douglas High School will start the painful process of reopening with that voluntary orientation later this afternoon. When classes resume Wednesday, this community will see quite a security change as the debate intensifies over how to secure schools.
Overnight, President Trump with a new call to raise the age limit to buy an AR-15 style rifle. like the one used in the Florida school massacre, something the NRA's been against.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. And frankly, I explained that to the NRA. They're great people. Wayne and Chris and all of the great patriots. These are great people. But I said, fellas, we have to get going on some really good legislation.
The president is also renewing his push to arm teachers. Many of the nation's governors in Washington for an annual conference reacted to that proposal.
That's not their job. They're there to teach. If we need law enforcement.
That's just a terrible idea. You know, educators are there to teach our children, not to enforce the law.
The NRA under fire in the debate on how to secure schools. The organization is taking heat for highly charged and at times baseless comments on gun control.
Many in legacy media love mass shootings. Crying white mothers are ratings gold.
More than a dozen companies like Delta and United are cutting ties with the gun lobby giant. The NRA calling the move a shameful display of political and civic cowardice.
End gun violence!
Saturday, more protests over guns in Parkland. Stoneman Douglas High School student David Hogg tweeting, "Let's make a deal. Do not come to Florida for spring break unless gun legislation is passed." The school is preparing to reopen its doors after the massacre that killed 17 students and educators.
I do feel safe enough in the sense that we have been promised that there will be amped up security.
So you're saying until these schools are secure,
don't go back to school?
That concern over safety as the Broward County Sheriff's Office investigates reports that at least 3 deputies remained outside the school and didn't rush in during the rampage. Late last night, the Sheriff's Office released a statement stressing that this is only a claim. The school's resource officer, Deputy Scott Peterson, resigned. The sheriff says he took cover and failed to confront the alleged shooter, Nicholas Cruz.
He was supposed to protect these kids, and he didn't. Instead, my teachers, my friends, threw their bodies on kids to protect them.
The Broward County Sheriff's Office says the allegation that several deputies didn't enter the school during the shooting was made by officers from nearby Coral Springs who were also on the scene. Tomorrow, teachers will return to work here as they prepare for thousands of students Wednesday who will likely need a lot of emotional support. Dan and Paula.
Kenneth, thank you so much for your reporting. And the other big story this morning, the Russia probe back in the news.
Democrats finally releasing their memo. It's a rebuttal to a controversial and much publicized Republican memo, which came out a couple weeks ago and alleged that the FBI abused its powers in the Russia investigation. The president weighing in overnight, and ABC's David Wright is at the White House. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan and Paula. This one document has been the center of a political storm here in Washington. And while it may not prove Russian meddling in American politics, it does prove that the Russia issue has poisoned American politics. Things are as toxic as they have ever been. This is the memo in the middle of this fight, the Democrats' point-by-point rebuttal of another Republican memo released weeks ago. Subject line, correcting the record, the Russia investigations. As it says right there on the bottom, top secret until now, when the Republicans finally got around to declassifying it. President Trump wasted no time declaring the new memo a total political and legal bust on Twitter, dissing it on Fox News, too.
The memo was a nothing. That's a very bad document for their side.
Congressman Devin Nunes, who wrote the original Republican memo accusing FBI investigators of abusing their powers to spy on candidate Trump, told conservative activists this weekend he wanted this Democratic response out weeks ago when the White House released his memo.
We want it out because we think it is clear evidence that the Democrats are not only trying to cover this up, but they're also colluding with parts of the government to help cover this up.
The author of the new memo, Democrat Adam Schiff, doesn't buy that.
If the president really thought that this Democratic memo was a bust, he wouldn't have tried to conceal it as long as he did, and he wouldn't be releasing it on a Saturday morning. And he wouldn't be going on Fox today to try to rebut it.
Schiff's memo insists the FBI and the Department of Justice did not justify early wiretap warrants in the Russia investigation solely on the so-called dodgy dossier compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele and paid for by the Clinton campaign. The Schiff memo insists DOJ provided additional information obtained by multiple independent sources that corroborated Steele's reporting. But whatever that evidence might have been is now blacked out. censored by the Trump White House, which insists releasing the details would compromise national security.
While we would have preferred fewer redactions, I think what they proposed was reasonable. But I think that doesn't obscure the fact that the White House attempted to suppress this memo.
To say that there's a partisan divide over at the House Intelligence Committee would be an understatement. We understand that things are so bad that there's even talk over in the committee's basement offices on Capitol Hill of building a physical barrier between Democratic and Republican staff members, kind of another version of Trump's wall. Dan and Paula.
Sign of the times. David Wright, thank you. David, we appreciate it. A lot to talk about with George Stephanopoulos this morning, the memo and also the gun debate. George is going to be hosting this week later this morning.
Morning,
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, George.
So the Democrats got their memo released, but given the fact that I highly doubt that most Americans are following the back and forth on all this, do the Republicans, in essence, win by just, in the end, leaving us with the impression that maybe there are doubts to be had about the Mueller investigation?
I don't think so. I think the Democratic memo pretty effectively rebuts what the Republicans have put out. But setting that aside, this is all a sideshow. What is happening in Congress right now is a complete sideshow. What matters is what Special Counsel Robert Mueller finds or doesn't find. What has he found so far? 5 plea deals, including with the president's former national security advisor and his former deputy campaign chairman. They're cooperating right now with Robert Mueller. He's also indicted Paul Manafort, the president's campaign chairman. He's under tremendous pressure right now, indicted 13 Russian nationals. It appears that Robert Mueller is nowhere near done. It appears that we have no idea what else he has. That's what's going to matter in the long run here, what Robert Mueller finds or doesn't find.
It's hard to keep your eye on what particular story. Let's talk about gun control. I know that you have the NRA's Dana Lash on, the spokesperson, on this morning. It's a Sunday morning exclusive. But we've heard Trump renew his calls to raise the minimum age to 21, to ban bump stocks, to strengthen background checks. Do you think that the president and the GOP are preparing to buck the NRA with new legislation?
It's an excellent question. I don't think we know yet. I mean, one of these, we saw what the president said. He's also calling for arming teachers. We know that. We saw Rick Scott got an A+ from the NRA last time around. Florida's governor, he's calling for raising the age as well. What we haven't heard from, and I think this is significant, we haven't heard from the Republican leaders in Congress. So even if things happen at the state level, it's unclear whether Congress is prepared to take any further action in the days and weeks ahead. That's what we're going to be watching going forward. A lot of it will depend on these activists, if they can stay in the spotlight, keep the pressure on in the coming weeks and months.
And Trump called out the Congress yesterday on Twitter, too, saying it's time to get something done.
The NRA is taking a lot of heat, as you know, and I'm sure you're going to be talking to Dana Lash about this. A lot of corporations dropping their programs, their partnerships with the NRA. But one of the pushbacks you're hearing from the right is it fair to blame the NRA for what happened in Parkland, given all of the law enforcement failures we're hearing about now?
Any single event can have multiple causes. I think that's clear. But if you actually look at this, is one of the reasons the law enforcement didn't go inside the school right away, if indeed that didn't happen, is that because they realize someone has an assault weapon, all they have is a sidearm. The fundamental question is still front and center on how did a young man with this kind of record, how was he able to buy a semi-automatic weapon that could kill so many people in such a short period of time?
So many missteps. All right, George, thanks for your analysis this morning. As a reminder, George has a big show coming up. As we just mentioned, he's going to go one-on-one with NRA spokesperson Dana Lash in a Sunday morning exclusive. He's also going to talk to a teacher and a student who survived the Parkland school shooting.
And there's more. He's going to break down the latest developments in the Mueller investigation. It's all coming up on This Week later this morning right here on ABC. Thanks, guys. George. Appreciate it.
Thanks, George. To South Korea now. The Olympics, the closing ceremony underway right now in Pyeongchang.
But as we come on the air, what could be a significant headline, the South Korean government announcing that the North Koreans have expressed a willingness to enter into talks with the United States in the midst of this nuclear standoff.
Yeah, ABC's Matt Gutman is covering it all from Pyeongchang this morning. Matt, what can you tell us about this new and significant development?
Hey, good morning, Paula. It's been a dizzying array of signals this morning, just as we saw Ivanka Trump sit down at the closing ceremonies, one seat over from a top North Korean intelligence official, North Korea's leader blasting out a statement calling the brand new U.S. sanctions an act of war. And just moments after that, another message from North Korea signaling the delegation right here at the Olympics would be willing to meet with their American counterparts. So now the ball seems to be in the American court, but officially at least, the White House has told us they don't have much to say to North Korea.
This morning, amid the pageantry of the closing ceremonies, a diplomatic spectacle also. Ivanka Trump seated an arm's length away from North Korea's head of intelligence in that fur hat. But at nearly the same moment they sat down, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, calling the new round of U.S. sanctions an act of war. But at the closing ceremonies themselves, no politics, only pomp, including American flag bearer Jessica Diggins, carrying the flag looking fresh despite competing in the Olympics' last event, the grueling 30-kilometer cross-country mass start, that after taking gold in cross-country team pursuit in this photo finish. The one flag that didn't fly? Russia's. The country banned from playing its anthem or displaying its flag in the closing ceremony after a state-run doping scandal rocked the previous Winter Games. A clean Games would have meant partial reinstatement, but the Olympic Committee canceled that after 2 Russians failed drug tests here, including a female bobsledder spotted wearing this "I don't do doping" sweatshirt in a promotional video for Team Russia's official clothing company last year. In total, Team USA taking home 23 medals, 4th overall. Most of its stars shone brightly here, from veterans like Lindsey Vonn and Shaun White to the younger generation, including Michaela Schifrin and Chloe Kim. And there were, of course, those triumphs. She scores! Gold after 20 years for women's hockey, and that mirror curl on ice by the U.S. curling team.
Can he get it? He can!
A first ever gold for the U.S. in that sport. But it was little Norway, with about the population of metropolitan Chicago, that grabbed the most hardware, a record 39 medals.
Okay, get this, folks. Norway won so many medals, so many golds, that the country's Olympic Committee ran out of the golden shoes they give their winners. Now, these games were a bit of a disappointment for U.S. athletes, but on the bright side, lots of new, talented faces here. And with that gold medal, apparently we are now a curling powerhouse. Dan and Paula?
That's not nothing. High-class problem for the Norwegians.
The mirror curl on ice, as Matt pointed out yesterday.
I used it again, shamelessly used it again.
Love it.
Bad puns, apparently not forbidden here on Weekend GMA. Now,
Thanks,
Matt, thank you.
I'm
Great
a dad,
job over there.
what can I do?
We love you anyway.
Well done.
We appreciate it. Let's check the weather now. Rob, sadly, is out again this weekend. However, Cindy Fitzgibbon happily is here from our Boston affiliate, my hometown station, the powerhouse WCVB. Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you so much. Yesterday, a wild day with severe weather. We actually ended a streak of days. There were 283 days without a death from a tornado in the U.S., and unfortunately, as you reported yesterday, we had several. So the good news is the severe weather threat is winding down, but the flooding concerns, they are ongoing. This is the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The level is higher than it's been in 20 years, and it's only slowly going to come down over the course of the week. A wintry side to this storm, check it out in Minnesota. This is the Minneapolis area. 6 inches of snow yesterday. It was actually a record for the day. They're about a foot above average for snowfall for the season so far. So where's the snow right now? It is moving out of the Great Lakes, but into the Northeast. In fact, in and around the Boston area, New England, a brief period of snow, sleet, and rain this morning. And the temperature is really just marginal for that here. But on the southern end of this storm, we're actually watching a new storm develop, and this is going to bring 3 to 4 inches of rain down along the deep south, the Gulf Coast, fortunately, where the flooding hasn't been as strong. That is your national forecast now. We'll take a look at the forecast where you live.
Dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. this morning, mainly for our southeast suburbs, especially back towards Calvert, St. Mary's, and headed towards Annapolis and Fredericksburg. So take it easy. Give yourself some extra time this morning. A pocket of some rain moving through now through about 10 a.m., tapering off by about lunchtime. 3 o'clock today, some gusty winds, maybe an isolated shower, and those temperatures back in the mid-60s, warmer compared to yesterday. Sunshine finally returns tomorrow with those temperatures in the upper 50s.
Because you asked, the rain's over by noon here in New York City.
Good. Excellent.
All right, let's check in with news. Good morning, Ron.
Hey, good morning to you, Paula and Dan, Adrian. Hi again.
Hi.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to begin with the latest news out of Syria, where government forces are launching new airstrikes in apparent defiance of a ceasefire called for by the United Nations Security Council. That resolution unanimously approved late Saturday after Russia came on board. UN convoys had been set to deliver humanitarian aid and to evacuate the critically ill and wounded in an embattled Damascus suburb. Aid groups say more than 500 people have been killed, 500 killed just the last week in attacks by government forces. There are reports of new casualties in those airstrikes this morning. And back in the U.S., University of Arizona basketball team's head coach Sean Miller was notably absent from Saturday's game against Oregon after a report released Friday accusing him of discussing player payment